welcome back to Let's Play Dino Crisis 2. Of course we're still playing the Dino Colosseum, because we're not done yet. We still got a couple characters to show off. Beginning with the Inostrancevia, which I would say it's an interesting choice. They made this guy one of the playables, but then again, what other enemy were you going to? Pteranodon wouldn't really work. Plesiosaurus definitely wouldn't work. Mosasaurus wouldn't work. Giganotosaurus maybe could have worked, but... And I mean, if you wanted to throw back to Dino Crisis 1, you could have had the Tyrannosaurus show up as a secret character. Anyways, in terms of attacks, the Inostrancevia has this sort of headbutt jab thing. His running attack is sort of this run forward and bite. I actually don't really like this though, because instead of just being able to properly run, you just have this sort of running attack. And his most ridiculous, but probably his most powerful attack is this sort of rear. Not rear as in, you know, ass. I mean rear as in he's rearing up. You can all see that. Why did I need to specify that? Ouch. Man, I'm already taking damage. Thanks, McAfee, for fucking popping up while I'm in the middle of fucking recording. Anyways, there are these crimson, Inostrancevia, which aren't, no, these are not in the game. I could have sworn that maybe they were in, like, the last Regina section with these guys, but I don't think so. I think they are just reskinned specifically for this. Oh, you're not dead. Well, now you are. Anyways, Allosaurus. Ow! Whoa. This thing is so goofy looking when it's doing this. I love it. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't really. Heal. Onto the T-Rex. You know, at this point, it's starting to become routine. Get back here. Again, it looks like I'm just fucking clawing at its cloaca. I understand being desperate for certain cloacas, but not that one. Also, if you've heard me yawning in this part or in the past several parts, it is currently like 2 in the morning as I record this, and I am sleepy, but I can't fall back to sleep, so... A rank. Not bad, not bad. Okay, next up. Probably my favorite character to play as in this mode, the Allosaurus. Which, if you recall last time, I mentioned the Allosaurus is basically just a bigger Velociraptor, and it does have very similar moves. Like, it has this sort of forward jabbing bite. Its running attack is also sort of a headbutt kind of move, and it has the tail whip. It doesn't have the pounce because, well, it's an Allosaurus. It's much bigger. It can't do the pounce, but... I don't know, the Allo just either controls better or it's just bigger. It also probably helps the Allo's walking speed is actually fucking decent compared to most of the other dinosaurs in this, which are slow as molasses. Yeah, the Raptor, you know, the one that's supposed to be speedy, is one of the slowest characters in the game if you're not holding down the run button. Okay, Inostrancevia, which... Yeah, there I showed off the tail whip. It didn't hit, but I showed it off. Smack! Okay, that time it hit. I can't even recall the Allosaurus is actually doing a tail whip on on me in gameplay. Anyways, when you're playing as the Allosaurus, you get these sort of yellow-green Allosaurus as enemies. Kind of reminds me of the Walking with Dinosaurs design. I don't know, but maybe I just think that whenever I see an Allosaurus in media. This design is pretty clearly inspired by it anyways, especially with the crests are right above the eyes, which isn't actually accurate, so... But yeah, this is the running attack. It's just sort of a weird little headbutt. It doesn't look very effective. It looks like he's just kind of nudging them. Tail whip. Tail whip. Die. Alright, Allosaurus versus T-Rex. Once again, I'm just nudging him to death. Nudge for your life. Or tail whoop. Even though I didn't hit. Okay, the bite is probably more effective. Ow. Alright, let's heal. I don't want to die. Smack. And I got him. A rank. Appropriate. Because the Allosaurus trophy. Alright, and of course, our final dinosaur to play as, the T-Rex. In terms of attacks, the Rex has this sort of sweeping bite, I guess you could call it. He's also got this sort of low-down bite. The Rex is, I think the main thing about the Rex is just his sheer size makes him, although annoyingly, you'd think that he'd have like damaging feet or something, because, you know, the tank had damaging treads, but no dice. The Rex, you can't just stomp on enemies with the Rex, which would have been cool, but can't do that. I guess because then they would have had to make the enemy Rex be able to do that, and not being able to be under the thing without taking damage would be a nightmare, so... Gotta balance it out. Get out from under my feet. Oh, this isn't good. We already have to heal. And, yeah, these guys. So yeah, the Rex's moveset isn't particularly diverse, but he gets the job done. Oh my god, the Allosauruses are so... Was Tyrannosaurus that much disproportionately larger to Allosaurus? I don't know if it was. And, the enemy Rex here is this red T-Rex, which... he looks fine. I prefer the brown. One of the very few times you'll ever hear me say I prefer brown. But, yeah, no, the Rex on Rex fight basically just comes down to who can mash attack faster, and I can. Fuck you, Red Rex. What rank did I get? S rank, hell yeah, appropriate. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye-bye.